tomorrow morning. If there are any further developments, we'll bring them to you later in this bulletin. Meanwhile, let's hope that on this occasion at least, no news is good news. This afternoon at Liverpool, Teresa O'Donovan was found guilty of stealing baby Mark Dawson from his parents at Wallasey last May. She was sentenced to 2 years imprisonment.
Mark, bloody
It will be remembered that baby Mark was missing for over 6 weeks. Teresa O'Donovan was the victim of a bomb incident in Belfast last March.
But you didn't finish her off?
Today, there were demonstrations outside the court when O'Donovan arrived for the last day of the hearing. And finally, in a report from Aden,
that's going to mean trouble. Used to cut all the unsuitable bits out of the newspapers. Sometimes they look like paper doilies.
The members are disgruntled. I'll say goodbye.
Irish, is she?
Doesn't matter what she is, she got what she deserved. 2 years.
2 years in this dump for something she couldn't help.
Couldn't help.
She stole that baby, didn't she?
Yeah, just think what the mum must have felt.
The girl was bombed only a few weeks before she took
So
the baby.
what?
Any judge would have known she was ill.
Oh, just listen to her.
Knows it all.
Look, if she comes here, you two better treat her decently.
Treat her decently, a baby snatcher.
Don't preach at us, sweetheart. We'll do what we think best.
We'll treat her as we find.
That's right. You won't find me even speaking to her.
Stupid!
Carol, pull yourself together. She'd have killed us this time, miss.
I'm sorry, miss. You've got a terrible temper. She's a danger.
That's what I saw.
Carol, come along here. And lock up the television.
Oh, what for? It ain't time, is
Oh,
it?
break it up. That's all for tonight.
Come on, please. Come on, that's right. We've got to break it.
Come in.
Mrs. B, what are you doing?
I don't know. I wish I hadn't started it.
I wondered if you'd seen this. They'll be here, too.
I expect so.
2 years seems rather a long sentence.
If you think that, listen to this. I've been doing some research on recent cases. Keeping a baby for 6 months unharmed and regarded as a daughter, probation. Keeping a baby for a year, returning her unharmed, 21 months. Keeping a baby for half an hour and returning her unharmed, 2 years.
It doesn't seem very consistent.
It looks as if Teresa O'Donovan's reception committee has arrived.
Oh?
I saw them from my window. And of course, the television cameras are here too.
Well, of course.
Now the media will take it up again for all it's worth.
And tomorrow the newspapers will be full of infuriated letters. Why don't the public realise that we're only doing a job, whether we agree with the courts or not?
From which I gather that today you don't.
The law's archaic. It was made in 1860.
To protect children from prostitution.
Of course, these women are mentally disturbed, not immoral child snatchers.
Some of them do keep the babies for several months.
I can't think that prison is the answer. Well, that sounds like our reception committee now.
Yes, it sounds rather ugly, too. I think I'll go down to the gate, see if they need any help.
If somebody breaks your leg, don't come running to me.
If somebody breaks my leg, I won't be able to run to anyone.
Begun. Outcry over the baby snatcher. Apparently after seeing the news on television, a fight broke out between Carol Waterlow and Lily Heaver.
Who?
Oh, you know, the girl who demanded Rule 43.
Oh, that one.
She got fed up with being herself, so she's out again. But we had to move her to South Wing.
She's a funny girl, that Carol Waterlow. Wealthy background, father a QC, everything going for her. And then she aids and abets 3 young tearaways to rob him. Has he visited her?
No.
Well, I can't say I blame them. Those pictures they sold were worth over 70,000.
Governor. Oh, yes, thank you. Teresa has arrived at reception.
I'll go and see her. Hospital wing for observation?
Yes, if you think so. Is this one of Father O'Callaghan's Pentonville days?
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll ring him, ask him to come over and see her.
Good idea. They had another bomb scare there today. I expect he'd be glad to get away.
Hey, baby snatcher! Irish pervert, eh? Hey! Irish cow! Get back to your bloody bones! And silence, I shall put everyone concerned on a charge!
We had a bit of a ruck here this evening, but they seem to have settled now. Maisie in 14 is being discharged in the morning, so get her up early. I think you'll have a quiet night. Good night.
Waterloo. Waited cell 14.
I'll ask one of the welfare officers to call again and find out if your husband has in fact left home, though I think it's most unlikely.
But he's never written, not once.
Is he normally a good correspondent?
Eh?
Is he a good letter writer?
Oh, no, he never writes to no one.
Well then, has he visited you?
Only once. He said he wasn't coming again.
Did he say why?
Seeing as how I couldn't stop crying.
Yes, I see. Mrs. Wilson, have you always been like this?
Only since I come here. I can't seem to take it. And now if he's left home...
When the welfare officer called and saw your husband, he told her that he had a very good job. That the garden kept him busy and that his mother was looking after the house while you were here. What on earth makes you imagine that he wants to leave?
Oh, it's all so hopeless.
Yes, well, most of us get depressed in here at times, but you've only got another 3 weeks of your sentence to serve. Do try and cheer up. Or else when you leave here, your husband might get pretty fed up with your constant moaning. Now, I'll try and persuade him to come and see you again. But in return, you've got to do something for me.
Yes, madam.
Now, I want you to pull yourself together. Try and take an interest in yourself. Spend some money on makeup and go to the next hairdressing session. It'll make you feel much better. I'm sure your husband will be delighted if he comes to see you again.
Yes, madam.
Well, we'll let you know if we have any luck with him. That's all. Well, you really can't blame the man, can you? What's she in for?
Assistant shoplifting. Cosmetics.
Mrs. Armitage, you should have stopped me. Now that poor woman thinks I'm pulling her leg. Oh, really, I did put up a black there, didn't I? Now, who's next?
No more applications, madam.
Oh, well, who's first on report?
Carol Waterlow.
Bring her in.
Carol Waterlow.
$37894. Good morning, madam.
In the South Wing yesterday at 6 o'clock, Carol Waterlow attacked Mary Davis with a chair, which I took from her. She continued her attack. Miss Parrish and I separated them.
You've heard the child. Do you realize that this could have led to a very ugly incident?
Yes.
Have you no self-control, Carol?
Enough, usually. But those two bloody stupid women were threatening to bully her.
Who?
The Irish girl, the baby snatcher. Well, surely it wasn't her fault that she did it. She's ill after being bombed.
That's for the doctors to decide.
Yes, I suppose it is. But perhaps they don't know what it must be like to live in Belfast.
You do realize that if this happens again, that you'll have to be punished. As it is, it'll have to go down on your conduct sheet.
I quite realize that. And I'm sorry.
And I don't want to see you before me again, Carol.